I think I've now talked to 8 people who could give this talk just as easily as but I knew Bob, so here I am. Bob and I actually served on a board together for, 6 or 7 years, and we actually had a highly successful exit in December that we're still celebrating, and particularly that we exited. But basically, I stumbled into this sort of world of interim, as I suspect many of you did, partly out of low boredom threshold and a bad case of ADD. And I've now I'm trying to think of the date of the first one, was over 15 years, done 7 different assignments, not entirely sequentially, 3 of which were going in and doing my best to rescue companies either I personally or my venture capital fund had invested in. And just a little bit more background, age 60, I have a BA, ain't got no MBA, but I have taught at both Harvard and Columbia business schools, which I never could have gotten in the front door with a gun, but somehow got in the back door along the way, and it was kind of fun. Started my career as a English teacher and a radio news journalist, and started my first business at 22 when I was doing an interview for a magazine now defunct called Marketing and Media Decisions, and the guy said, gee, why don't you start a PR agency and I'll be your first client? And I figured I'd get that offer about one more time in my life, and I wasn't going to wait, for the second one. That business became a 150-person, $14 million national PR agency that was founded as Bob Dorf Communications and was ultimately called Dorf and Stanton, sold to Shandwick, now part of Interpublic. And it actually led to my first gig. I didn't like, once the check clears, life changes in an M&A situation, as I suspect many of you know. And I didn't like it a whole lot fairly quickly, and got a call from a friend of mine, hey, we just bought this magazine printing plant in Maryland. It needs a marketing makeover. Could you come down and spend some time and do that? And basically my sort of skill set is what most people would call below-the-line marketing, sort of everything more or less other than advertising, and it's grown, having run, owned, founded a number of companies. That's really 85% sales management, and pipeline management. So I really, unlike many of you with a sort of more pointed expertise like engineering or finance, I'm more general management or sales and marketing management. And when I got to this printing company in Maryland, we suddenly discovered paragraph 13 in the printing contracts, which were a change of control, frees the client to basically go anywhere they want. And instead of having a small marketing problem, we had a massive sales problem and an inept sales manager. So I stepped into that role, and I guess if I had had a title, it would have been either president or COO or whatever. And interestingly, and I think perhaps inspirationally, my biggest sort of personal professional achievement started as an interim gig where I ran into a guy who had just published a book about one-to-one marketing, and I said, well, I'll try a couple months, see if we can make a business out of this, and we turned that into a 350-person, $40 million business with a whole bunch of internet investments and other fun things. And he was basically the waving hands visionary guy, and I was the one who said, could you stop waving your hands so I can get these people to sign a contract and then go hire some people to do the work? We sold them and stuff like that, and it was a wonderful combination. And I still reflect fondly on the, about 2 months into it, we realized we had a business there, not just a little sort of freelance bunch of merry men. And I said to him, hey, this is supposed to be a half-time deal. He said, yeah, I bought the waking hours. And anyway, it went on from there to, your standard sort of 100-hour a week. And I guess I became more fully engaged in, sort of interim leadership a few years into the venture fund we formed coming out of Marketing One-to-One. and sort of trying to slow that down in light of the post-bubble challenge of investing in online and marketing companies in the early 2000s. And for me, going into the venture capital business was just a horrible mistake, because I like to do stuff, run stuff, yell at people, make stuff happen, not cuddle them and coach them and advise them and stuff like that. And so the sort of interim world gave me a chance to go yell at people and make stuff happen and actually effect change, as opposed to sitting back, 90 minutes into a 5-hour board meeting. And, have you ever thought about looking at it that way, or would you consider this or that? And I think that, to me, is one of the very best reasons to pursue, the interim work that many of you are doing or thinking about, is that you really get to do real stuff real fast. Usually the first morning is dive into the deep end of the pool. Oh, we ran out of life jackets, sorry, and that's a shark and that's a whale, and start swimming as fast as you can, and, sure, you can drink some water, try not to drown, and so forth. And for me, that's really been probably for lack of a better term, the professional salvation over the last 10 years, because in my sort of deep ADD situation, venture capital is often like watching paint dry, and it certainly is like that these days if you're not making new investments, and it's very hard to find new investments that make a lot of sense certainly in the internet and marketing space. Also, I think in an interim situation, you generally get a lot more clay to work with and shape. There's a going concern there, and maybe going the wrong way, as opposed to doing either a raw startup, which I've done a couple of times, or jumping in as an investor or a principal into something small. You have people to point in directions. You have some level of resources. You have some ability to get either interim capital or equity capital along the way, and you also get often to work with a lot more smart people than you do when you're sitting in your home office and on the phone and board conference calls and things like that. Generally speaking, at least in my experience and in the experience of several of you that I spoke with earlier, pays pretty good, and I have a nice little file folder in my desk of stock certificates, a few of which are going to look great on the bathroom wall, and a few of which look like they're going to really pay off along the way. And I think the other sort of reality of 2009 is there just not a lot of full-time C-level jobs around, and the path to actually getting them involves, pick a number, 3 times as many interviews as it did 2 years ago, and a lot more sort of angst and aggravation. And if you're a sort of highly opinionated 60-year-old, competing with, for argument's sake, a 40-year-old Harvard MBA, it's a long shot, and this is a much more fun way to get engaged quickly. And in my case, out of the 4 I didn't invest in, 3 of them led to job offers, all of which I declined, mostly for geographic reasons. I thought it was also interesting to take a minute to talk about what's wrong with sort of interim work, other than the obvious that it often doesn't go anywhere. And I think the first thing is, if it's a CEO job, once the private equity people or VCs or owners put you in that job, they're on to the next problem. Okay, that's solved. We'll see him in 6 weeks at the board meeting, and sure hope he figures it out. If not, we'll fire him and bring in another guy. And so you don't often get a lot of guidance from your employer, whoever that may be, which can be frustrating. And generally, they don't really want to hear from you all that much. I'm going to see you in 6 weeks, and take me through the numbers, take me through what you've done, what you haven't done, and so forth. And the alternative to that, which is probably the only thing that's worse, is you spend one of my situations, which is a company in deep distress that 3 years later is still in business, but problems are not certainly completely solved, to say the least. You get too much. You get 5 investors. Each one wants an hour on the phone with you. One guy, I finally said, look, if you want to talk, you're the other end of Manhattan. You're out and about Manhattan all the time. Come to me, because it's 4 hours for me to get in the subway and go all the way up to you and wait for you to get off your phone call and whatever. And I've got to be more time efficient. He actually, to his credit, he did that and would come down, and an hour meeting took an hour instead of 3 or whatever. I think one of the other things that's wrong is what I've kind of labeled Stockholm Syndrome. And in fact, I'm sort of working my way out of that situation right now, or this is a 3-month assignment that is just past the 2-year mark. And, part of it is its convenience, 12 minutes from my house on if I miss the lights, it's easy. It's sort of stuff I, did 20 years ago. And, I feel a little bit like an old shoe there. I'm not driving it as hard as I can. I can't get the CEO owner to focus on what I think he ought to focus on. And so Tuesday, I'm sort of begin the walk to freedom. I've got a new CFO starting, and over the next 3, 4, 5 months, I'll sort of ease my way out of there. Which is also another important point to think about, which is to always confront call it soft landing exit strategy. On the way in, make sure you have runway on the way out, because you can't always count on, well, I'm going to finish, I'll probably finish up at where I am now March 1st. Do I know for sure that I'm going to have another, engagement on March 1st? No, but it's also, prime skiing in Colorado, and, we could suffer that, but it's nice to know I guess about 3 weeks ago when we finally agreed to make the offer to this CFO, I had almost 6 months notice to start figuring out what to do next, which leads me to another important point, which is never, ever stop networking. This is a strange netherworld we operate in, and you don't ever know where your next assignment is going to come from. In fact, the one I've been doing for 2 years started when a social friend of mine, whose husband had actually worked for me at one point, and that was long enough ago where we are purely social friends, said, would you go have breakfast with my boss? Because a lot of what you do, he doesn't even think about, and I think he could use some lessons. And those couple of breakfasts led to this engagement, and it was a purely sort of, favor to a friend kind of. I would have never, if I were doing a mailing promoting myself as an interim executive, the husband might have been on the list, but the wife never would have. So it's really, I think to both Bob and David's point, if you're really doing this as a profession, don't be apologetic about it, and try to be clear that this is not, between jobs or just another flavor of, consulting, whatever that is. And the other thing I would say, which I guess I'm sort of kind of going through right now, is don't let the thing extend sort of automatically. If you're an interim person, there's a point where you either have to get a W-2 or say goodbye, because you add less value in some respects the longer you stay. And then you either have to get into the company for the long, okay, I'm really here to stay. I want the same kinds of incentives and motivations that the people who are here to stay receive, and I want to stop looking over my shoulder and stop sort of promoting myself. It's the same conversation I used to have with people who wanted to leave one of my various marketing companies because they were so sure they could make so much more money as a freelancer. And I said, well, you can do that on a day, on a per diem basis. You'll make more as a freelancer than I'll ever pay you, but you're going to get whiplash from looking over your shoulder all the, where's the next job, and so forth. And that's a bit of an awkwardness, I think.